Part 2.
The alien bit. Having now hopefully understood a bit about my background, I would like to share about what happened next. This will then be up to you to decide. 2-3 months into my walk with God, out of the blue, I had 3 unusual dreams in a row about UFOs. I believe these dreams were from God, and one of the reasons I'm sharing this testimony. Here are the dreams. Dream 1. The sun was either going down or coming up because the sky was very dull and dark. I was standing on a hill or in a hilly field looking up into the sky. Other people were there looking up and pointing at these UFOs that were appearing in the sky. And I was warning people, saying, "They're not real UFOs, they're not real, it's fake." Dream 2. UFOs or a UFO was coming out of either a river or an ocean. I was shouting, "They're coming out of the ocean," or sea, or water. Dream 3. I was somehow in the air, about as high as a house, maybe higher, but unsure how. I didn't look down, up or behind me. I just looked to the side of me where I saw futuristic soldiers shooting with laser guns at these tall tripod things, which were grabbing the people with tentacle-like arms. I didn't see the tops of them, only legs and arms. I didn't feel in danger and was calmly watching these civilians getting snatched up by them. As you can imagine, I was like, what the heck? Having 3 dreams in a row about UFOs. I had been drug and alcohol free for months, and I hadn't watched or seen anything about sci-fi for months either. I felt in my spirit this was from God and found out online that other Christians were having similar dreams. They also spoke about a coming alien deception. It was then that I remembered I was warning people in my dream that these spaceships weren't real in the sense that they were something else pretending to be ETs. I began to research UFO sightings, the history of UFOs, along with alien encounters, abductions, etc. One night I was praying, and at around 10 p.m. I looked out of the window and up into the night sky. What I saw made my jaw drop. In the sky were about 5 or 6 orange glowing orbs slowly flying in a triangle formation. I had to rub my eyes because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But one orange orb broke off erratically and moved fast and strangely. Then they disappeared. I thought at first, could it be drones? But the one orb that had broken away from the formation just moved too quickly and erratically to be a drone or anything else for that matter. I knew these weren't real UFOs because of my dreams, research, and other people's testimonies. And I had found no real evidence in the Bible to suggest that aliens existed. Some alien conspiracy theorists will talk about the Nephilim, but these are the offspring of fallen angels interbreeding with women mentioned in the Bible, not aliens. However, with my knowledge at the time, I started to see how the idea of fallen angels, demons, are recorded in many different mythologies and cultures, and I learned that fallen angels could appear to mankind in many forms. Was what I'd seen demonic? So in my mind I questioned, were these so-called UFOs confirmations from God that I needed to also warn people? I felt in my spirit it was. And with that I went to crazy lengths to warn people what was coming, creating and giving out leaflets about the coming alien deception, which I left everywhere from buses, shops, anywhere I could. I also posted them through letterboxes with my mum. I shared information on Facebook, alien images, videos, and any other evidence, making quick artwork and posting material like a mad conspiracy theorist. People were messaging me to see if I was okay and needed help. Some mocked me, some got angry. My heart was in the right place, but my method was not. I went on an alien parade around Gloucester city centre, the 17th of the 12th, 2020, when I decided to dress up in one of my old robot suits I had made and pretended to be an alien along with 2 men in black. I think that God was gracious to me at this time, even answering my prayers by supplying these 2 men in costume. They were non-Christians. Two actual Christians declined with helping me when I asked them, and now I understand why. It was crazy, and I was crazy. I even said to myself, I bet God uses non-believers. I was right, but I believed he would, and even though I went at this like a bull in a china shop, I believe it had its purposes. It showed me God could use anything or anyone for his will, and I believe it was also encouragement to me and to show God has a sense of humour. The Lord knew my heart and honoured it. As mentioned previously, I will now tell you about how the spiral down the wrong path led me to an understanding of how a belief in aliens could be one of the biggest deceptions of all, and how for generations we have been so indoctrinated with the idea of aliens and UFOs everywhere, through music, film, books, comics, adverts, news, internet, games, sightings, toys, products, events, Area 51, history, and even in politics. It was during this time I started to become deceived. I was doing so much research into aliens and UFOs and began linking this with the Bible. As a new believer, the deception started with the twisting of scripture. I am now going to list for you some of the deceptions that I had started to believe. I want to point out that there is a growing community of people who believe in these things. Again, I do not write about this to glorify these conspiracies, but to warn against being deceived by them. And it is with this motivation that I share with you the following things I believed in. It started as a slow transition from the truth and began with a newfound fascination in ancient Egyptian wall art. I believe that these images appeared to show UFOs and fallen angels who were like aliens. At the time, I believed God allowed me to fall into this deception so I could learn and warn others. I actually started to believe that there was some truth in time travel and spaceships, and that God was a spiritual being that would use ships to travel in, even though he didn't need to. I also believed that God allowed his heavenly beings to build technology and spacecrafts. I started thinking maybe Jesus was coming back on some kind of spaceship to save his own. I started to think the Bible was like a Star Wars film, in that a Star Wars like battle between Satan and Jesus. I started to think that Satan was like an evil alien coming to destroy us all on earth. I began to believe that I had to build a spaceship to help escape people and get them to a secret place on earth, which was the destination where the rapture would take place, and that it would be a spaceship that would remove all those who were true followers of Jesus. I believe that symbols such as a cross with a loop on top, often seen on ancient Egyptian artwork, could possibly be teleportation devices, and that Egyptian artwork showed me that angels were advanced beings that kept the technology they built in heaven when God kicked them out. I began to chase after all sorts of ancient relics. I also believe that the Star of David was the formation of two pyramids coming together, one stone and the other metal, equals building meets spaceship, and that all the different dimensions in the universes were on different levels in shapes of a pyramid, and the closer you got to the top, the closer you got to God. Secondly, advancements in technology became a major focus, and many TV shows about aliens will focus on this area too. My belief was that God had built different dimensions that existed through technology, and within each one was all kinds of other universes, planets and life forms, aliens, and that the more you served God, the more rewards you got, which allowed you to access to more of these 10 dimensions. I believe that the reason for all earthly technology was due to aliens leaving spaceships and other technology for us to learn from. And that is why we have all these different methods of transportation today, and that the government has more advanced technology they were hiding for an evil purpose. I began to link my ideas incorrectly to the Bible by trying to draw what I thought were spaceships in the book of Ezekiel, and how man was trying to copy them. I became obsessed with searching the internet and people's dreams, etc. Satan had me believing that we can upload our consciousness to technology and become so advanced that we can become like gods, and that we could create universes within our own created matrix. and that we would also exist outside of, just like God outside of our so-called matrix. And then those beings we created within our matrix would also evolve into gods and create their own universe, and so the cycle would repeat itself forever. I even began to believe that Jesus was able to walk through walls and do things he could do due to technology, and that he was a hologram that could be touched after his resurrection. This belief, as you can see, starts to deny the very power of God, and what goes against the biblical teaching, the very real physical resurrection of Jesus. I believe that there was a dome over us, and also that an ice wall surrounded us on earth, and beyond the ice was infinity, and that we lived on a flat, never-ending plain in all directions, and were held in by ice. Beyond the ice are other creatures. By the way, I know the earth is not flat, but a sphere. Another area of deception that often features in alien belief is that of Bible being linked to significant objects and secret codes. Firstly, I chased after all kinds of signs and wonders, like number codes, and I was even led to believe I was related to Jesus, or that I was from the tribe of Levi in the Bible. Secondly, I believed that the Bible was in the form of a cube of light. Within it, you could see all the pages of the Bible at once, which when looked upon would reveal a 3D hidden code and messages. Thirdly, I believed I had to find some secret key abroad which would give me the entrance to a special door in a cave where I would meet Jesus, who would give me a staff of Moses to use it for a special purpose, and that the Ark of the Covenant was some kind of alien technology. Finally, I believed in some kind of alignment of the planets which would give birth to the Antichrist, and that I had another Christian who would have to collect all of the stones, 12 stones from the tribes of Israel. By believing this, you are entering into the realms of mysticism, and not how God intended the Bible to be read, and not what the foundational message of Christianity is based upon.